Hello everybody, how are you doing today? My name is Zach TG, and welcome to the Chapter 5 investigation of the Danganronpa blind playthrough. Yeah, of course, in the last stream, Makuma had gotten everyone's hopes up by, having one of his spare robot bodies, of course, dead or and the others dismantled it, just to try to see if they could find a way out. And of course, the others assume that the mastermind is dead because, well, we found a dead body. But of course, Monokuma was simply toying with us once again, bringing up everyone's hopes, and then it comes crashing down into despair. Ah, jeez, Monokuma. Sometimes I think you go a bit too far. Well, let's see how the investigation turns out. And then he was gone. Reality was incomprehensible, the truth hopelessly out of reach. All we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had just to keep myself standing upright.
I don't understand any of this. What's despair entertainment, and how is he still alive?
I'm sick of
I
this.
thought that finally we could get out of here. And plus, what did he say about class trial?
Stop talking.
Well, that part's obvious. The class trial is the class trial. What it means is that at this point, we have to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyoko.
What?
What the heck?
What are you talking about? I thought Makuro Ikusaba was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fulfills that condition. And if Monokuma is still alive and active...
Hey, Gimmick, how you doing? Yeah, just starting the Chapter 5 investigation. I don't think you've made it to Chapter 5 before, have you, Gimmick?
That means that the mastermind, Makuro Ikusaba, isn't dead. So naturally, that body can't belong to her. So it must be Kyoko.
I refuse to believe that she's dead. I refuse. I refuse.
There is no other possibility.
The body is Kyoko's. Kyoko's been murdered? Okay, you haven't seen Chapter 5 yet. Okay, Gimmick, well, I'm just starting the investigation. At least I assume it's the investigation. After all, it is the deadly life part. No, it's not possible. Because I don't know anything about her yet. I don't even know who she really is. To have it end like this. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
Quiet.
Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, it's your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself.
Myself? You only got into Chapter 1 on THH. Okay, a trigger happy hour, okay. That's fine, Gimmick, that's fine.
Anyway, we'd better begin.
But
If we're gonna have a class trial, then that means the killer.
That's right.
Correct. It must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so you're saying one of us killed Kyoko? Well, that's not precisely what I'm saying, no.
Huh?
Huh? What you just said?
Stop talking.
I don't have time to explain now. There is a veritable mountain of issues I need to confirm. So I'm going to begin my search. If you value your lives, you'll put everything you have into this. That is how this game works, after all.
Okay, now the investigation begins. Well, I better start by checking out the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe.
Is overkill much? Yeah, knife stab, an attack with a metal pipe to the back of the head, and of course explosion. Overkill much?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The unidentified body. Could it really be Kyoko? Or... I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened. Or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of the crime. Back to the garden. Alright, Monokuma 5 has been added. Okay, luckily we just teleport back to the scene of the crime. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important, from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. Okay, first of all, let's investigate the dead body. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Okay, so fake nails has been added. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Either a dog or a wolf, it looks like, or something of the canine family. Alright, tattoo on the right hand has been added. I still got this to investigate. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. Yeah, from when I poured the water onto her. That's because it got set on fire, and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Okay, so there's the exploded body analysis. And I think that's it for the body. Let's see. Well, we have the knife. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this... It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks really familiar. Oh, you think? Wait, is this... Yep. The same knife in which this masked intruder gotten from your room. That's it. It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab that same masked attacker we found here. So, maybe this masked person got stabbed because... when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then
And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Okay, I got some issues right there. Kyoko did show up a little bit later on in this trance thing, this dream sequence or whatever that was. So maybe the masked person wasn't Kyoko at all. That's what I'm guessing anyway. And is it just me, or is the knife a bit too clean from being stabbed with a dead body? There's no blood on it at all. I don't think anybody wiped it as soon as the explosion happened. That just seems really weird to me. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. What, the bomb or something? Because that's the only thing that... Yeah, the knife really does look too clean. Not a spot of blood on it. Especially from one that's been through the body front to back. And the only thing that happened down there was the explosion. I don't think anybody had time to wipe it. I better check just to make sure that that bomb was still there. Okay. Oh, you got the sprinkler. I have a feeling that sprinkler is important. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then, if the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet. Oh yeah! So the body must have been placed there after 7:30. And Toko discovered the body at 9. Or between 9 and 9:01. So, either the body was placed there between those two times, or that person must have been killed between those two times. Which would mean the murder must have taken place, yeah, between those two times, most likely. Let's check on the chickens. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. Wait, what? How come there are 4 here? I thought there were 5. I count 4 chickens. Huh? 4? Oh, you got 6 games today. And what were the 6 games, Gimmick?
Oh, what's going on, Makoto?
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here?
Of course. There were precisely 5.
Yeah, right?
Huh?
What's wrong?
There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short.
Huh? Oh!
That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But...
I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished.
I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? It must be, honestly. Why else would a chicken disappear like that? Still have to investigate that shed. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. Okay, yeah, something definitely changed here. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? Definitely not from what I can remember. I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime, but the underside, it's totally clean and completely dry. One side of that tarp is wet and dry, wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Yeah, it really does. That's the one thing in here that concerns me. Yeah, the rest of the ends in here, I don't think we need to examine. I don't think they've been changed at all. Okay, anything important about that giant flower? Okay, Assassin's Creed 4. Yeah, the black flag. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4. Yeah, the black flag, yeah. Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reloaded, Dead Rising 4, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Senran Kakura, Estival Versus, and Tales of Zestra. Oh, good gimmick. That's good. Yeah, I have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. And of course, Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reloaded. Yeah, since I'm playing that right now. However, I think I have Digimon World's Next Order, not Cyber Sleuth. And I definitely don't have any of the other games, not Dead Rising 4, Senran Kakura, Estival Versus, and Tales of Zestia. The Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. Alright, so let's talk to the witnesses.
It's 11 o'clock right now.
Okay, and...
You're serious?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body.
when the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Onakuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. I was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then?
Now then, Toko, what time is it?
Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right. It had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Oh, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done.
That's a pretty small job. Okay, so when the body was found was added to the truth bullet section. Alright. Byakuya. Yeah, I've been pronouncing his name wrong all this time. It's not Byakuya, it's Byakuya.
Good timing, Makoto. I want to talk to you.
What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi.
Alibi? Yeah, because we were practically... besides Kyoko, I'm kind of like the only person missing throughout some of the ordeal, and of course the fact that the knife that I used to have was found in a dead body doesn't make things kind of makes things a bit more guiltier for me.
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night.
Oh, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime.
How can you know that for sure?
Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about my opinion. Hero's been spending most of his time in the garden last night. So I figured he'd be here. And I confirmed that when I arrived last night, there was nobody here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night.
What?
Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get her. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
So that means if I didn't commit the murder, that means Kyoko must have committed the murder. God, I really don't want either of those scenarios to happen.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko,
Yeah, then the only person who could have done that is me. And I'm the only one without an alibi.
also, when we went to go get Hima and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So where, precisely, were you?
I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so...
That's hardly an alibi.
I know.
So, what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here.
I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Ooh. This is looking pretty bad right now. Listen, Mokoto, do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of a mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Alright, so we have the body before the explosion. I think I checked everything I need to in this area. Okay, so I guess I didn't need to go talk to Toko then. But I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true... Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I could get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room... Yeah, Byakuya has it.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options.
Just give
me the key to your room.
I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Byakuya? Hey, Byakuya?
If you do come up with an alibi, I'll be happy to hear it later at the class trial.
Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it.
I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story.
Then, will you go with me?
Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not.
Come back later, huh? Okay. Then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Alright. Well, there's an exclamation point right over there. So I have to check if that bomb really was there. Is it still there now? Is it still there now? Well, there's the broken Monokuma figure. Monokuma is still laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something, what is it?
It's...
Huh?
It's what? A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure.
Bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Yep, fragments near the dead body. Okay, I checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Is he still there in the garden, I'm wondering? Or did he move to a different spot? No, he's still there in the garden. You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go.
Wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Well, there it is. I can't unlock it myself. I need to ask Byakuya. Oh, really?
Well then, here we go.
Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole. And then...
And it's open.
Looks like it. Thanks. Looks like a normal room to me, except for what's on top of the table there. So, this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve?
I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers.
I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse.
That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly
But if it
possible.
is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks.
Really? What?
Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to.
The dojo? Okay, so I have another area I need to investigate. Let's investigate the rest of her room first. There's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here. At least, not as far as the case is concerned. Okay, can we investigate the drawers down here? Anything important in the bathroom? Yeah, looks like a normal room, and of course, in this school, yeah, the blocked windows are practically in every room, so it's a normal room to me. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I better not look inside. Oh, really? Guess I have to leave.
Hey, I think it would be wise to look around a bit more.
Oh. I don't think the camera or the screen have anything to do with it. So should I talk to you, Byakuya?
You want to come here, right? So, what is it you're looking for?
Nothing in particular. I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here?
Sorry.
Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you have. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here.
More concrete? Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it.
What's in the envelope?
Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it.
Well, something
Interesting.
has certainly happened. So open it.
Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets?
What?
That's all that was in there?
Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Oh, I don't know, maybe underneath the bed sheets, maybe? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class 78, Student Registry. Makuro Ikusaba.
I
It
see.
appears to be Makuro Ikusaba's profile.
Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room. Along with the key. God, you're so annoying! Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and bleep! That's it. This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said that death without meaning was unappealing. And this is what she left behind.
I don't have time for your sentimental indulgence. Hurry up and finish your search.
Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Makuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines from elementary school. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Makuro's profile has been added. The ultimate soldier. A mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. Of the world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. And there's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. But then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this.
Oh, you recognize it.
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bits player, and the bits player is becoming our hero. Oh, it's you.
What?
Huh? What you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh, you found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on
Come
me.
on now!
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Hogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours.
Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself.
Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely! I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, now can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. Excuse me? I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking, I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway back then, when there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying...
In other words...
That's right! There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes,
The total
indeed!
number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16, then...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Huh? Did you say something?
Why are you telling us this?
Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I want to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes,
Makes
indeed!
sense.
Well now,
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back on a sneaky Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously?
hey!
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Woohoo! Okay, now, that's all you get. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so on the back of her hand... The tattoo... I don't know, I don't really consider tattoos part of scars. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars. Okay, so we can probably say that's definitely not Kyoko. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse.
Are you thinking about Kyoko again?
Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap.
His trap?
Such
God must
ignorance.
have really hated you to make you feel good. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us?
He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Murkrow was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Murkrow is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now?
He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later.
But the mere fact that he said that proves that Murkrow is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair.
Murkrow is related to the case?
It's certainly
Perhaps she's the
possible.
one who killed Kyoko.
No. I refuse to believe that Kyoko is dead. I refuse. What? I really don't think that's Kyoko dead. I think that's the other way around. Yeah, I'm just wondering where she is right now. Because we definitely have not seen her today.
That will explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she were a student and killed someone, that will make her part of the school killing game.
But it kind of also works the other way around. Murkrow is the killer? He killed Kyoko?
Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit.
Huh? What makes you say that?
We thought Murkrow, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. Well, if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us?
That's a good point.
So, in other words,
Mokuro giving us information that will raise questions about her would be bold to say the least. It makes more sense then to assume that Mokuro isn't the culprit.
So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mokuro and come to the wrong conclusion.
That's what makes sense to me.
The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible. But if that's really true, if Mokuro isn't the killer, then who is? Me? Or Kyoko?
Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in the investigation.
I should find out if the key and the dojo really are connected.
let's go.
Well, are you coming?
Okay, immediately get warped to the dojo. Oh, there's locker number 6. There are wood lockers here. They use woodblock keys, just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. Looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker furthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right?
I should probably use the key we found in that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it.
Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock, and the locker eagerly accepted the key, and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total.
They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. Of course, without bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks.
Strong sticks. Okay, so we have titanium arrows. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Well, judging by the picture right there, it really doesn't look like it's wadded up in a ball. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case.
This duct tape is related to the case somehow, but how could it possibly be involved? That's what I'm wondering. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong?
Very
It's
strange.
very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker room wind up in the victim's room?
Yeah, because she wouldn't have access to it because she doesn't have the key. Only you have the key, Byakuya. So that should make you a suspect, except you have an alibi. I just don't know. Where this is gonna lead us? 'Cause I don't know who could have gotten that key down there. Certainly not Kyoko, since she didn't have access to it. Definitely not you, Byakuya, because you had an alibi the entire time.
Why?
Or perhaps
I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see what happens is when we get to the trial, which I think should be coming up soon, I think.
or perhaps
Byakuya?
forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location.
Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir.
Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Makuro was a part of? But how were you supposed to find out about that? Maybe the library?
Isn't that obvious? Where in this school would you go to do research on something?
Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to. It even helped us quite a bit during the second case, when we try to find out more information about Genocide Jack or Genocide Jill.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry.
Okay, so let's see what information it has.
I believe there's a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here.
Yakuya seems to know what the archive in, like, the back of his hand, and went straight to a shelf in the back.
Ah, here we go.
He quickly returns with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this.
Okay, that symbol definitely looks familiar, doesn't it? So, now I think I know who the victim was. So it's either me or Kyoko who killed her, most likely. Oh gosh. I really don't want to have to come to either one of us, but I pretty much have no choice. The other four have solid alibis. I have no idea what it says. What language is this?
How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French?
I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, technically, I do know some words of French, but it's pretty much some that everybody knows. Like, oui, bonjour, all that stuff.
Well, whatever. I'll read it for you. But I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over.
100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme?
Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear to any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
Jeez.
What?
What is it?
This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality.
Well, it isn't. This is our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting.
Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use.
So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir.
Only the symbol. Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right?
That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
That proves it. That proves it right there. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Yep. That just pretty much confirms that dead body was Murkuro Ikusaba. And it's time for the class trial to begin.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us. Organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
Then the time has come.
All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go.
I am still kind of worried about this trial. Oh, jeez. Is it gonna be me or Kyoko? I just honestly don't know.
Whoa! Byakuya and Makoto showed up together?
Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without word.
We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point?
Makoto's right high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
Huh?
What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Oh, you got a guess gimmick? I don't know if you want to reveal that guess or keep it guess or keep it to yourself. Either works fine.
Stop talking to brace yourself. He'll be here any second.
Any second? He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But where's Monokuma? We stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again.
What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or what? Yeah, he always shows up when you least expect it.
Jesus!
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that?
What? I made you wait? You got all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? Yeah, that's right. Where's Kyoko? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
Kyoko! I'm here, and no rules been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive?
No! That's a ghost!
Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
Or is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
What's not in the regulations?
is that
I
right?
made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty, officially. But I'll bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts on the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay.
Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us.
Huh?
He's right! Now we gotta deal with a ghost!
Really, Yushihiro? Really? She's not a ghost. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial.
Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me!
Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
but
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator, but I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed this announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea Bai had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you are on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. Oh, great. So she did have access to a room. That could possibly implement her. Oh, gosh. What? And Kyoko's account has been added to the truth board section.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
And I have a feeling that one of us possibly might not survive the outcome at the end. That's what I'm having a feeling. Oh gosh. Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Oh boy. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusty darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't
why
wait!
do the walls kind of look like the Bullet's time battle stage? Yeah, the background really does look like the Bullet time battle background. That's just weird. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Alright, so let's start the 5th class trial. I think I'm good on the e-handbook. Only got 1 extra skill point. So I can't really equip the vocabulary skill. So I'm not going to use any more skills. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, the reason why I've been reloading 2 bullets at once, I completely forgot about handiwork. Completely forgot about that. I think I'm good for the skills, so let's start the class trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim.
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Well, that should be pretty obvious now.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Oh, but she's standing right there!
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Exactly!
No, that's a ghost!
Stop that! Stop believing she's a ghost. Kyo's not a ghost. The Kyoko's not a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, so does Danny Phantom.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh boy.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. We didn't find gloves at the body, right? So, yeah, the fact that the body does not have gloves makes it seem like it's not Kyoko.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Nope. And I think I can prove that right now. Because of when the body was found. Okay, it's kind of a bit hard to see, but look at the lower right picture right there. There's no gloves on the body, so that's null and void.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Ugh, hero. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Oh, really? Do we really need a non-stop debate right here? Just to prove that Kyoko wasn't a ghost? Ugh.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Alright.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
No, they didn't.
Then she
That's
was
interesting.
wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is
I
idiotic.
have a hard time believing it. I know that body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a...
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
I
Prove
have a
she's
feeling
not
that
a
it's
ghost.
probably the fake nails.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
Dang it, I forgot which button was the fire button.
That Kyoko there. Okay, then prove it.
The dead body
It's the
wasn't
triangle
wearing
button, not
gloves.
the
They
R1
got
button.
burnt up in the explosion.
Then she
R1's
was wearing
just for
gloves.
concentration.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
I mean, it's kind of hard to wear gloves with fake nails, wasn't it?
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yep.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Yeah, what's the point?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Who better to know woman than actual woman?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, why do we need a non-stop debate about that again?
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Alright, so now let's identify the victim. Maybe the tattoo on the right hand has something to indicate. Yeah.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Okay, I was just trying to look to see if there are more obvious fake hints or like weak points. But there's only two, and it kind of looks like I only see one that's relevant. And the one thing that could tell us was on the victim's own body.
If Kyoko
I'm trying
really
not to be
is
so rash
still
about
alive, who
this
died?
since I've been rash
I
before.
don't think so. The face was scorched, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma... Well, if we can't identify the body...
Right here. There we go.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Actually, more like a wolf.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Really, Toko?
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. In this case, Makuro Ikusaba's profile. Every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere in their body. That has to be it.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Do we really need Hangman's Gambit for this? It's pretty obvious it's a wolf. And this is the easiest one yet. Well, I'm still complaining about Chapter 2's trial, about how this Hangman Gambit is pretty messed up.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
Okay, so now we identified the victim. That's the easy part. Yeah, probably the harder part is just figuring out how exactly she died and who killed her. That's the tricky bits.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yeah, it said she was the ultimate soldier, not ultimate despair.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Oh, great. She's gonna be the most suspicious one so far, besides me.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Nobody messes with the Togami family and lives.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big old brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then one of us killed Mukuro?
That's kind of a bad situation for me and Kyoko.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
I don't think even I can deny that, honestly.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Yep, unfortunately.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Definitely not Toko and Genocide Jack. Definitely not the same person. No. It has to be Makoto, me, and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yeah, it has to be either me or her. Oh gosh.
Exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
No, then. Toko? What time is it?
Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now.
Okay. go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh, yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
So if I can prove that the murder happened between 7:30 and 9, then I'm totally in the clear.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 till 7:30. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun.
If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay, since the sprinklers turned on at 7:30, that has to be the key point. Yep. So I have to destroy the 10 p.m. Thing. Well, it kind of looks like.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Nope. Sorry, got a bit of rash right there, but I want to get rid of that 10 o'clock at night thing.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
Yep.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Only the top half of the body from the bucket of water. The lower half was completely dry.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Really? We're trying a bullet time battle! Against Toko yet again.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
There we go.
How can you say it?
This should prove it.
I'm surprised you didn't execute your nega attack here. You did in the last trial.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Yep.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because...
Had to put out the fire.
While the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which gives me a solid alibi.
which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Yep. Oh gosh. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Makuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
What?
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
Wait, another trap?
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Because she thinks that she was the mastermind.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
Thanks, Gimmick, for hosting the stream.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
How?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Oh my gosh, I think I just realized. Ugh, there's a certain item that was used, dang it.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something that the scene was used to cover the body could have been... the tarp looks like, yeah. Dang it.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did.
Yeah, if that's the case, I think there's still something wrong. What kind of looks like. Wasn't the blood still wet at, like, 9 o'clock? But then how did none of the blood get on the tarp? Is what I'm getting at.
The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
Yeah, that's strange to me.
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
And I think the only one that has that motive was me, of course.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Oh. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. A tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. In another non-stop debate. Okay, maybe the body before the explosion. That's what it looks like.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Nope,
No, that's wrong.
because the blood was still wet when we investigated the body.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Okay, if you had to wash one side, why not wash the other side?
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
What? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Okay, now I can see what blood she's talking about.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I think there was a source close by.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Too far, wouldn't risk something like that.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean, yep, that explains the disappearing chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Oh, really? Oi, and your hunger fascinations?
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
What?
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
Care to elaborate?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
Which would probably mean the knife was not the actual murder weapon.
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
So it was pretty much a rush job.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think that should still prove me innocent.
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Oh, wait a minute. How long was I away from Hina?
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh, no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Crud.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Oh, come on. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguised dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook? Okay, that's new. I have not received any other truth bullets mid-trial before. Oh my goodness.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Yeah, that's way too much to gamble, considering that the wrong choice could mean everyone besides the Blackened dies.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Maybe because I actually did do it. I don't know. It's like the game, like Makoto was in a trance during the time, so maybe he did kill. Yeah, kill that's her. But no, it was controlling Makoto at that point, up until the gym. So I couldn't have done it. It's probably still Kyoko.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
And yet didn't have a spot of blood on it.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yep, that further implicates me. I don't know why nobody else even thought about this beforehand.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it?
Well, we can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do.
I don't want it anyway.
So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
Yeesh. I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed.
Oh boy.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. So maybe we have to prove that something like a metal pipe did it or something, because that's the only thing I can think of.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, now I got to investigate the truth bullets. Definitely not that.
Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body. Oh yeah, the disguised body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead pig.
Now I know what to do.
It really is, isn't it?
Missed it.
I was afraid.
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed...
Not really.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, thank you for the hit at the end, Makoto.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
I think that could explain why there was no blood on the knife.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Well, they're obviously spelling out for us. It's the Monokuma file. Stabbed a single time with a knife, completely went through the body. There you go.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
Most likely the metal pipe thing.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
I'm so surprised that Toko managed to survive the explosion particularly unharmed.
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
I think I can explain why.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Just stop talking, Hero, please. Just stop.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Fine. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. The fragments here of the dead body is obviously part of the bomb by that dismantled Monokuma. By the dismantled Monokuma.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Oh, great.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
True.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
It definitely wasn't the knife. It definitely wasn't the explosion. The only other thing the Monokuma file mentioned was the metal pipe thing. The other wounds were several days old, so it has to be the metal pipe that killed her. Or something resembling that.
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay, we only have one truthful at that time. As related...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be
And
this.
more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yeah, but the countless wounds were several days old, so that was not it. The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body wasn't fresh. Which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Actually, this is the fatal injury.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
Same thing in the Monokuma file, several days old.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
Yeah, we haven't found anything quite resembling a metal pipe anywhere so far.
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
Really? That has nothing to do with a metal pipe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
Plus, I think that the handle looked kind of more like wood than metal, at least in my opinion.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
Never mind. I think it was metal.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon? Was he talking about the titanium arrows or something? Oh yeah, 10 of them put together. I guess that could really be like a metal pipe, I guess.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. The fact that there's 10 of them. Maybe I could go so far as to say they're tied up with the blade duct tape.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Yeah, that one was the more awkward one. Okay, so the duct tape really did
You're right.
have a meaning
Just
to this.
the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
The duct tape.
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
That explains the blood on it.
The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Yeah, but Kyoko doesn't have access to a room, right?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Alright, fine. I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to that dojo locker. Yeah, the key found in her room. Which she didn't access, by the way. So who did access her room?
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
Yeah, Byakuya had her room key, and yet he had clear-cut alibi.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... she killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
After all, you have the key.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? We really need a non-stop debate about this.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But Could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Byakuya, sorry. Which would mean... Okay, I really gotta say, check out when the body was found. None of them have any indication of the key. So that one's a fake bullet.
Bespoke.
Exactly. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide.
there's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay, I have a feeling
Is
that's
that
the one
what
you
you're
gotta
saying?
throw the bullet at.
You
But
stated
which-
a theory earlier.
Which memory bullet is that?
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Yeah, the locker key.
could I really have done that?
I think that has to be it.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yep, that's it.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. Yeah, Kyoko had a key that can bypass any lock. So she could have gotten to her room easily. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap? The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Makuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap? If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. Yeah, you're 20,000% certain who is the killer. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? So we're saying Kyoko is the killer, right? Oh boy. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Wait, there's no timer option here. There's no timer, so I have all the time I have to think about this. Do I pursue the lie, let it go, or just outright run away? Okay, this seems like it's gotta be an important thing. What should I do? What should I do? Man. Yeah, since he's known to be 20% certain of who's the killer. I think that's from the first free time event with him. Oh boy, what can I do? Do I pursue the lie or let go? Because I think run away is just a decoy option at this point. Yeah. let's pursue the lie.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement
I'm
just
probably
now.
gonna regret this later on.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying, and it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Oh boy. So there's a non-stop debate, so I'm probably on the right path, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so Kyoko's account. Secret tool. Yep, that's it.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Yeah?
There's no doubt about that, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Actually, you could.
No, that's wrong.
You could. Oh boy.
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself. Didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it.
Did I make the wrong choice?
So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
What? Wait, we never had this before. We usually do the closing argument and then the trial would end.
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up. All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
Where's the closing argument? I was really looking forward to that.
But that's ridiculous. Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Oh, great. Oh, boy. Kyoko. No, it couldn't be. Good job. You got right. Brilliantly right. You got right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Oh, great. Game over. Kyoko has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh, great. Oh, great. Okay, she's on a desk on a conveyor belt moving back toward a crusher. Sure, why not? Oh gosh. After school lesson. Something interesting, huh? great. Oh, great. Oh, great. Oh. And that's how the class trial of Mikuru Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Makuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace, in exchange for the lives of all the others. Oh, really? Yeah, they've been here a long time that they started having kids. I'm surprised how much the kids kind of look like the dads. And the way that Byakuya is holding a picture of Toko. Did she die? Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
What? Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right. I have to... Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? Well, we already saw where that choice leads. And we'll find out where the other path goes in the next stream. So before I leave, before I end the stream for today, anything you want to say, Gimmick, or anybody else in the chat? I think that point back there, yeah, I think that was supposed to be like a bad ending or something. Oh, luckily it brought me back to the choice. Oh, yeah. It must have been. Yeah, it must have been important to her. Yeah, it must have been important if she, didn't kill. I'm just wondering who did kill her. Yeah, mine must have been me then. But then why would Monokuma have prepared the execution for her if she didn't kill? That's strange. Anything else you want to say, Gimmick? If the killer's not found out, they leave the school. And everyone else dies. Yeah, something I have to think about for tomorrow. Okay, well, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good day/night. Until the next stream where we might finally see what the other path holds. Fare thee well. Good night, everybody.